And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Yeah, we missed a week last week. Apologies, because I was in Florida. We'll get to that in a little bit. Ooh, lots of football to get to. Oh, my word. There was a lot that happened. The U.S. men's national team played a couple of games. Good friend of the show started one of those games, played a couple of minutes in the other. Some big transfers happened. Some whirlwind rumors are going around as the transfer window comes to an end in a couple of days here. Man United won a game. Oh, my God. You'd rather be lucky than good, and they were lucky. We'll get to that in a little bit. Chelsea, that's a slide that has continued, and they helped Man City to a 3-1 win. We'll talk about that, because Man City changed it up and played a whole new style of football, which I've been calling for the last 6 months. Yeah, Route 1 works, Pep. Let's get this done. Aston Villa tied 1-1 with West Ham. We got a lot to get to. Oh, and by the way, there were two players that decided to play slap and tickle with each other in the middle of the field, and one of them got a red card. We'll get to that in a little bit. Man, we got a lot to catch up to. Could Ange Postecoglou find his way out of Tottenham tomorrow morning? Because Tottenham's slide is one of the worst that's happening in the English Premier League at the moment. They lost to Leicester today, 2-1. Oh my word. Lots of good stuff to get to. What have the U.S. players been up to in Europe? We'll talk about that. We've got a local player that's signed in the NWSL. We got a lot to get to today, friends, so be sure to stick around. Now, it's not just me here in the studio. I'm joined by two guys who were giggling and laughing and throwing hand signs to each other a minute ago. I don't know what they were doing.
Playing slap and tickle.
You guys were trying to play slap and tickle, even though you're at different tables, but we are all in the same room. Nate, how are you, buddy? You good?
Tired.
Yeah? Long weekend of coaching?
Yeah, I got in an accident Thursday.
Like a car accident?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, a car hit me from behind.
Ooh, that's not good.
He lost control, but I stopped him.
He lost control, but you stopped him.
Yeah.
You civic duty type thing?
Something like that.
How bad is your car damaged?
It's drivable.
Oh, no. That's just a pain in the ass, isn't it?
I'm going to need a whole new bumper, a whole new tailgate, whole new left side panel.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's the life of Nate Janice right now.
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah. What's going on?
Stuker lost also.
Oh, man.
But you know what?
What's that?
Man United, played a disgustingly gross game, and I don't even want to watch them anymore.
They did, but they won. Yeah. They won. They got the win.
Yeah. Who cares?
All right.
Who cares? By the way, that's not luck.
Yeah.
That wasn't a luck game.
No, I don't know.
I don't know what's below luck. It's something below luck.
What's worse than luck?
I don't know. What's worse than getting lucky? You'd have to have effort in order to get lucky. I don't know what that was.
Nate, I got a whole lot of questions to ask you. We're gonna get to the Man United.
I have no good answers for you.
I don't know. We're gonna get to it. Let's hold on. I got a lot to say about that game as well.
Can we sell the team again?
Did you sell the team again?
Can we sell the team?
Can you sell?
Can we get a new head coach again?
Oh man, you're really going down the rabbit hole of getting done.
What
with
else can we do?
Can you switch leagues?
Yeah, can we switch leagues?
You play any worse than you have been recently,
How is
and you could be doing
that. We half our players come from there. Maybe we can win that thing.
You might be right.
Hey, we're going strong in the Europa though. We haven't lost.
We almost lost to Rangers.
Yeah, but
yeah, I bet on them to win.
Hold on, wait.
I bet on United.
We haven't lost. You almost lost.
But you.
But we won.
You won.
And we haven't lost a game.
You did.
Well,
Jack Butler made a very bad error in that game.
We're actually sitting on top. We're actually sitting on top of the Europa. We're actually gonna the bye week, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
What do they call it in that where it doesn't the bye week?
Just a skip a week.
Skip a week.
Skip a week. Yeah, they just don't play.
Oh, it's so Americanized.
I know exactly. All right, Brooks, how are you, buddy? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I actually played a full game on Friday night in our co-ed indoor team. That was great. The hip's feeling a little better. So
You're the one who's telling me this. I'm hearing it's true, but I'm going to have to verify via camera because I don't remember the last time you played a full game of indoor soccer.
Probably last winter.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Brooks, you're the youngest one here and you're the most injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooks, all right, start us off with, why are you wearing a Tanzania jersey today? So everybody's just aware we all got certain outfits on today, and there's a reason behind it. Why are you wearing a Tanzania jersey, my friend?
Well, when Nate was talking about his, favorite players, after, in the new year, before it turned 2025, he mentioned that, the highlights of the year, and one of them was a guy that played in the Tanzanian Premier League, and I told him I had a jersey, a Tanzania national team jersey, and he was like, "You do?" And I'm like, "Yes, I've worn it in the show before." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring that out."
And here we are. You
here we are.
Tanzania jersey on.
Yes.
And Nate,
never seen him play live, but I have a jersey.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
yes.
Just tune into a television stream if you can.
Yeah.
Nate, you are wearing Jaguars gear because you were coaching all weekend and you love the Jags. By the way, you did a phenomenal job with the junior Jags earlier on Saturday. I was kind of watching from afar while my kid was playing on the field. Oh, man, you just do so well with those young kids.
Why weren't you?
I thought you tried to transfer to Nate's team.
Yeah,
I should have.
When's the transfer window open?
It's closed.
Oh, man.
Well, it's not for another 8 weeks.
I got a toaster. Can I trade him for him?
My kid is not worth a toaster. Toaster is the good toaster.
That kid's a diamond in the rough.
I don't know about that.
You give me that kid, I'll spit you out. I'll spit you out a player.
I believe it. I believe it. But you are wearing Jags gear, who are one of our partners, so happy to see that.
Yeah, I was just too lazy to change. I'm just gonna.
I get it. I get it.
I was in Ypsilanti at like 8 a.m. for my daughter's game.
So was I.
I had another game I had to coach later. I had like 4 games I coached on Saturday.
It's been a long weekend of Jags coaching for you, my friend.
Beat up. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we'll get a beer later and we'll make it worth a while.
Get a hug.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah.
From someone.
All right.
From Brooks.
I am wearing an Aston Villa jersey.
What? Oh my God!
Oh my gosh.
Hold the presses. But this particular Aston Villa jersey, is the one that we won the 1982 European Championship in. So I'm wearing it because Villa have actually sucked the last couple of months, however you want to look at it. And we play Celtic at Villa Park this week, and we need to win in order to get into the top 8 of Champions League to get through an advance and have a bye. Does that make sense? So I'm hoping me wearing the 1982 Aston Villa jersey helps them. Plus, when I do this, it really shows off how big my arms are.
Look at those.
Thank you. See, Nate gave me a compliment, so he must be, all those push-ups I do must be working.
2 of them this week?
2 this week? Was it supposed to be per week? I thought it was 2 per month.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, either way, they're working. So that's the outfits for the day. I'm wearing an Aston Villa jersey from 1982. It actually is from 1982, so it is 42 years old.
It's a
Nate,
legit jersey from 1982.
Yep, it is. My dad actually bought it, obviously, and handed it down. Nate's wearing his Michigan Jaguars FC gear, and Brooks is wearing a Tanzania jersey. I love it. All right, we're going to jump in. We got a lot to talk about. Before we do, I want to say a big thank you to our partners, Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. They have a big 50...
No, they don't. Shut up.
No, we don't want to tell anybody about the 50% off sale? No?
Nope.
So you can get in line early. Yeah.
Last year was the first time I actually had to stand in a line.
Ooh. Yeah, it's getting popular.
Yeah.
So the 50% off sale at Soccer World is not happening.
Doesn't exist.
It's not happening.
Nope.
No.
If you want to save money on soccer gear,
don't go to the 50% off sale. It's not happening.
Not happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
This weekend. Not happening.
Next week?
Next week.
2 weeks.
This
2
weekend.
weeks. 2 weeks? Next week?
This weekend, is it?
I think it is.
Hold on.
Check those dates. But it's not happening, so don't worry.
God.
Don't worry about it. We'll get back.
Worst plug ever.
I know. Christ. We don't want people there because we want to get all the good stuff ourselves.
Oh, we want people there.
We do? I want to go get all the good stuff myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the annual 50% super sale. That's right, I said super so many times. It is fantastically super. It is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, January 31st, 1st February, and February 2nd, going on from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day except for Sunday because then 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Ooh.
While supplies last. That
Gotta be
means
in store only.
Yeah, and in store only.
Yeah.
That means the 3 locations: Canton, Rochester Hills, and Brighton.
Yeah. Brighton's my favorite.
Yeah.
Brighton's my favorite store. I like that.
Yeah,
Although the
it's
Rochester
called-
one is huge.
It's close.
It's close.
So.
Yeah, that's why.
So hold on. That would be this Friday, Saturday,
Yep,
Sunday.
this upcoming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Although we don't want people to show up because we want to be in line and we want to get in there first.
So, okay, you can show up
after we're done.
after we're done.
You know what? We should ask if we can get a special
No, that's
the
usually
door
it's
beforehand?
funny because like they usually say, oh, "Hey Nate," and I'm like, "Hey, do I get to?" And they're like, "No."
Oh,
Shit.
Yeah. Next time. Maybe. All right. Big thank you to Next Level Training as well. A huge contribution they've made to our show over the years. We love them. And
You know, they're also doing February clinics.
they are. Those February clinics, you got to sign up for those quick, too.
Yeah, you got to sign up
Those
for them.
spots are
So
going
so
good.
check out their websites. They're doing individual February clinics throughout the month of February, specializing in certain skills of a player. You want to be a defender, learn how to defend better, Craig? They got a clinic for that. You want to be a forward, you want to learn how to shoot better, Craig?
Yes.
They got a clinic for that.
Yeah.
You a midfielder and want to learn how to play the game a little bit better?
Yes.
They got a clinic for that. You a goalkeeper?
I'm not a goalkeeper.
They don't have a clinic for that.
I know
So
they
we're
do.
just moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Next Level Training guy, Dwan Jones, started this past week for the U.S. men's national team. So we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. A big thank you to the Michigan Jags, MichiganJaguarsFC.com for all of that information. My kids play in it. They played in the Junior Jags. They played in a couple games this weekend. One undefeated. Michigan Jags, my kids. Yippee. Big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. If you've been injured, especially if you've had a knee injury, get to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He'll fix you up. He is a phenomenal baller, by the way. He has played the game, continues to play the game, and he's an even better dude and doctor. So get to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. And last but not least, Fab Football Academy. If you've got a gap year, if you're looking to get overseas, get to fabfootballacademy.co.uk for more information. They are awesome, awesome academy. Get your kids over there quick. All right, boys, listen, we're going to jump in. I gotta get to it. I mean, listen.
Spit it out, Junior.
The Bullets. I went down to Florida last week. We didn't advance. We didn't advance through the group round. I'm sorry. I feel like I failed you.
Wasn't it an undefeated? You guys were undefeated, though.
Well, we had 2 wins and a draw.
Yeah, so you guys didn't lose. It was based on goal differential that you got knocked out.
Yeah.
Nothing to be.
The
ashamed
last
about.
game, we knew we needed to win. The other team knew they needed a single draw. That's all they needed, and they played to the draw. They played all the games. The dark arts. They're rolling on the ground. They're kicking the ball as far as they can out. Their goalie gets the ball. He rolls to him and he falls on the floor. They played the dark arts. You know what though? They won the. They drew the game. They did what they needed to do. They advanced. We didn't. We went to the beer tent after that and got drunk. So
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you sure you weren't the winner there?
The
The way you just described it.
yeah. You know what? You may be right there.
You know,
Maybe
maybe
right.
just like I told Mox, who plays
Yeah.
on the team,
Mm.
maybe the real championship is not the
right.
games played, but the friends you made along the way
And the amount of beers we drank.
and the amount of beers.
All right. I do want to throw a quick.
Would they have won if you coached the team, though?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I do want to throw.
This is going to be.
you up
This
for
is,
that.
let me do a live interpretation of me coaching the game. Hey, Craig, make the run down the field. Shut up, Nate.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Scott, check into the center. Shut up, Nate. Okay. I'm all out. I'm just
Yep,
going to go
that's
sit
it.
down
Just
now.
Go sit and drink some beer. I do want to throw a quick shout out to the Bullets, the Detroit Bullets, the over 40 team here. As you can see, we did have 2 wins and a draw. We didn't advance for only the second time in 6 years we haven't advanced out of the group stage. So great group of guys. I tell you what, if you have a chance to join a team like this or any local team and travel, do it. It is phenomenal. We all stay in a big Airbnb and we have a great time watching football, watching soccer, getting drunk, and playing the beautiful game of soccer together. So I do feel like I failed a little bit, though. I went down with a hamstring injury, and it just hampered things. And
You went down. You already had one.
well, I went down there with a hamstring injury, and
If only there was some type of football doc that could
well,
grabbed you prior to.
unfortunately, it happened a week before the trip. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll take another couple of weeks off here and get it back. All right. By the way, just FYI, we had a women's Bullets team down there. So we had an over 40, an over 50, an over 55, and a women's team.
Yay.
Bullets did pretty well. Yeah, we represented Detroit and Michigan very well. All right, let's jump into some real soccer here. Ange Postecoglou it has to be gone. Daniel Levy and Spurs. This is hanging on to a manager this long is out of character. They hosted Leicester City today. Ruud van Nistelrooy, new manager at Leicester City. And I tell you what, in the first 25 minutes, Leicester City were on the back foot. They were just hanging on for dear life. Thank goodness for those last two defenders and the goalie. They were absolutely knocking the ball out of the 6-yard box every chance they got. They could not hold it together. Richarlison finally puts the ball in the back of the net for Spurs. And then Tottenham Hotspur go to pieces. And in a span of 5 minutes, Jamie Vardy scores a nice goal. Ben Al-Kamouche comes in. He scores a nice goal. And it's 2-1. And then they hang on. And Leicester City they win the game 2-1. Well done to the Foxes. But the fans are absolutely giving it to Daniel Levy and Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou, I'm sorry. You may want to get a box, get your stuff, because there's going to be a taxi called for you. You're gone.
I mean, they're almost in a relegation battle.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, they're down there. Tottenham's not used to this. They're not used to being in the relegation battle in the bottom half of the table. They're used to being, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th with no trophies.
Who would have predicted, and I didn't think United was going to do that well.
Right.
But
who would have predicted
that Tottenham would have been 15th and United would have been 12th? Basically.
You would have won a lot of money if you could have bet on that, right? And those two being in the bottom half of the table.
It's funny.
Brooks, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say it was a rude awakening for Tottenham.
It is bizarre that every week he comes up with these dad jokes, and he's the one in the room that is not a dad that we know of.
Everyone says I'm funny. I got to keep my shtick up.
No one says that.
Do people say he's funny out of...
you told me viewers think I'm funny.
I don't get it, but they do tell me.
No, they're mistaking you for somebody else.
They're mistaking you, I have the names,
They're drunk.
Yeah, a lot of people probably watch us drunk.
Yeah.
Take another sip.
Looking at the league table, and not to segue just a little bit.
I'm going to put that up there right now. There you go.
Would it be cool if there was a rule, if you're so grossly bad like Southampton, that you could just midway through the year just go straight to the championship?
Just be like, see you later, we're out.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
There's no point anymore, right?
There
really is no point. There's no hope.
Yeah.
They're done. Just let them go down, and then let the top team go up. And just call it good.
We're gonna swap in the middle of the season.
Swippy swap,
Yeah.
swippy swap, and then you only have 2 relegated.
The funny thing is, you're right, but here's Leicester City sitting in 17th after 3 points today. They got 17 points. I mean, they just jumped from 19th up into 17th out of the relegation zone.
No, I'm talking Southampton.
Southampton are very bad.
That's
Southampton gone.
That's what I mean.
Ipswich, I think, are gone as well, and I think Wolves have gone as well. I think Leicester and Everton and Tottenham, I think we'll fully expect, will get some points and they'll stay above and they'll be fine, right? Or do you think Leicester will tank it? I think the new manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, is doing very well.
Yeah, I always look at goals for and against, and I don't know. Wolves and Leicester could swip and swap.
Yeah, they
spots.
could.
But I think Ipswich and Southampton are done with -26, -36.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're just.
Yeah, they're clearly gone. Yeah, clearly out of it. But listen, Tottenham have dropped 21 points from winning positions so far this season. In winning the game and then to losing, they've dropped 21 points, which they could very, very much need right now. Daniel Levy does not stand for this with his managers. He's fired managers for far less than what Ange Postecoglou's got going on right now. Jamie Vardy, I don't know if you guys saw this. Jamie Vardy, once he scored his goal to tie the game up 1-1, he pointed to the Premiership badge, and he goes, "We got 1. You, Tottenham, have 0. He's just Jamie Vardy.
That's the second time he's done that.
Yeah, I know. They don't like him, and he don't like them, and he loves it. He loves playing there. It's funny.
So
They 2-0 against Tottenham. Didn't they beat him at their place?
I don't know. Yes.
How did they draw?
No, it was either a draw or a win. I can't remember, but it might have been an FA Cup. I can't remember. I wish I should look that up.
Oh, look.
I
mean, look at their schedule.
So the only question I have
the way to the
is
NBA.
where is Ange gonna end up where he's going to actually do well?
That's a great question. You know, I do think he's a good manager, and I do like him, the way he gives his press conferences and the way he's very blunt.
They tied 1-1.
They tied 1-1.
August 19th, opening day.
Opening day?
Yes.
Wow. If Ange gets fired, I do think he heads back to the Scottish League or heads back to Australia to coach in the A-League there. I don't know. I don't think it's in the Premiership, to be honest, again. I like him. I think he's a good manager. Unfortunately, he's at one of the clubs where they demand a lot, and Daniel Levy doesn't stand to be 15th after 23 games. So, yeah.
Do you see, like, in a world at all where a Levy maybe just gives up control of Tottenham? And
It would be best for the club, yes, if he did that, but I don't see that.
because now the fans are starting to do,
They're really on him.
Protesting and stuff. So, who knows? Like, weirder things have happened, but
I don't see it happening unless someone comes in with a big offer, because he is a part owner. He's not the majority owner, but he's a part owner and he's a CEO. So I don't see it, but you never know. Weirder things have happened in football.
can we make that offer?
You would have to make it a very big offer because they also own the stadium.
Like, I got like $5.
I got about 7, so that makes 12. Brooks, you want to chip in?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I got like $2.
So we
There you
got
go.
$13. All right, we'll send an official bid through. Let's do
We're
it.
in.
That's actually that's a good idea, Nate. Well done. Good thinking. All right. Did anybody out there watch Manchester City beat Chelsea? This was at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester. And for one of the first times in God knows how long, finally, Erling Haaland isn't just running around being a decoy player, hoping to get a ball looped into the box for his head. He was the main target. They played up to him and looked for him to hold the ball and distribute, and he did a phenomenal job. I think Pep has now, with some of the new players he's bringing in here, trying to change the tactics up and use Haaland for what he is, a big mountain of a man who's actually pretty quick as well, but can hold the ball and lay the ball off. Phil Foden, the third goal of the game, what happened? The ball comes up, it gets flicked on by Kevin De Bruyne, right from the keeper to Kevin De Bruyne's head, right to Haaland. He brings it down, taps it to Foden, who's running through, on goal, scores that third goal. The second goal was Ederson knocking the ball all the way over, Haaland running onto it, and then dinking it over Sanchez's head because Sanchez was caught in no man's land. I think they finally figured out it's Route 1 soccer. It's a good thing, no?
Most importantly, Omar Mamouche got the start.
He did.
Former Stuka player.
Okay.
Who was
Yeah.
that? Frankfurt, right?
He played well. He's
Former Stuttgart player before he went to Frankfurt.
Okay.
Omar Mamouche. He was actually on a loan from.
Did he marmouche people?
So
He
Omar
learned everything he
Mamouche
needed.
got a start, and I thought he played very well. He fit in.
He was going to do well in that league.
And Manchester City new boy as well, Abdulkadir Kusanov. I hope I said that right. I've heard it a million times.
That name,
Kusanov.
we finally found a name that almost got you.
Almost. He endured a nightmare start to his debut.
Yeah.
So listen, two things real quick. Getting up to speed with the Premiership.
It's not hard when you're coming from the Bundesliga like Omar Mamouche. Go on, Greg.
Yes.
But yes.
Yes.
But for Kusanov, it was extremely tough. He was caught out a couple of times. He was the last defender several times. He held Cole Palmer onside once or twice. He held Nkunku onside once or twice. And then when the ball comes over the top, he misses a header. He goes to head it back to Ederson. He misheads it, and Chelsea score a goal. Like, he was terrible. Now, hold on.
French league.
He's like 20 years old.
He is. He's 20 years old.
Give him a break.
He is 20 years old. The Premiership is the hardest league in the world to get up to speed to. And playing for Pep Guardiola and how he plays, the amount of information he requires his players to know is also super hard. Now, put all that together, and then all of a sudden you put him against Chelsea, who has Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Nicholas
That Palmer
Jackson.
didn't play.
No, Palmer played.
Oh, he
he
did?
went
Okay.
missing, though.
Oh, okay.
He went missing for large
Okay.
chunks of the game.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you got to play against guys like that who are super quick and creative. And I mean, listen, Pep took him off. I think it was after like 54, 57 minutes. They put Stones on there, shored things up a little bit. They got the win for City. That's a good thing. But he'll be all right. He'll be a good player, but he's very young.
I saw a meme on X that was like, it was like, alert, alert, John Stones actually played more than like a small amount of, like, played 39 minutes for like the first time in forever or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
I was
unbelievable.
Like, I laughed.
I mean,
Yeah, it was like where he didn't need a physio or something to come check on him.
I mean, you didn't really notice he was playing, but
So here's my question.
Go for it.
Is there time for them to still win the league?
No, I don't.
Come on.
No, I don't see it. I'm going to put the table back up here. They are
Sitting fourth.
They're sitting fourth. They are 41 points.
Yes, there is, because I have them winning.
Liverpool have 53 points and a game in hand against Everton. And when that gets replayed, that'll be just 3 points.
But
I mean, that's 15.
Liverpool has to play City.
No, I don't think so.
Come on.
I don't think it can be.
You don't think Pep can go on one hell of a run?
I think he can go on a run. I think he can get into second and third, but I don't think he can get into first. I think Liverpool are running away.
So Nottingham Forest is going to win.
Well, we'll talk about Nottingham Forest in a minute here. They looked a shambles of a team today against Bournemouth, or yesterday, sorry. Bournemouth ran off 5 goals against them, and it could have been a lot more. Kluivert was all over them for 2 goals. Tyler Adams had 2 assists.
Yay!
I think Nottingham Forest have hit that's it. They've hit their wall. I think they're coming back down. People are figuring them out.
They remember they're Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Oh, shit, we're Nottingham Forest.
Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing up here?
There is no wall in a
hell?
forest.
Oh, the hell?
There's no wall in a forest. Come on.
I think they're coming back down.
It's
There's
a
a
cat.
wall. They've hit it.
It's a cat in a tree. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, crap!
Oh, here
Get
it
up
comes. Straight down. It's coming down. I don't think Forest stay in the top 4. I think they fall out. I think Chelsea get in there. Let's put that table up again.
Nuno's at Forest, right?
Yes. I think Chelsea could get into there. I don't see Newcastle sticking around for long, although they've won 9 of the last 10. They're on a hell of a run. Bournemouth have crept into the top 7, as you see there. But I think the top 4 will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and I think Chelsea will end up finishing in that 4th spot. So, but Chelsea, for this past weekend against Manchester City, got their butt handed to them. City kind of did what City have done in the last couple of years, but they didn't even get out of 3rd gear, in my opinion. But I really liked that finally Pep went, it's not working. What are we going to do different? Well, you got Erling Haaland. Use the man. Use him. Go to his head. Let him bring the ball down. Let him flick it on. Let him run. It was interesting to see.
You know what we need to do?
What do we
need
need
to
to
redo that top 3 and bottom 3, or just do a mid-year one to see if we even get close to that, too.
We could do that. Yeah, we could do that. Maybe
Maybe
that's
for next show.
Next show, next week.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Nah, you live with your failures and what you picked.
All right, we did.
Hey.
We did talk
I'm
about.
in there too.
We did talk about Bournemouth destroying Forest 5-0. Kluivert scores again. He's on a heck of a tear. And Tyler Adams, finally, Tyler Adams. Healthy. 2
Yes.
assists. He played well in the middle. This is what we need to see.
Can play in the Premier League, see? One of them.
I was
many,
a little
but
worried.
one.
We may never see him again, but here he is.
Yeah.
Let's hope he can have a run of form and stay healthy through the end of the year. That's what we really like to see him stay healthy through the end of the season. We're 23 games in, 16 left. If he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be the absolute center, the anchor of that midfield for the U.S. men's national team under Pochettino.
Yeah.
So
Really good.
Yeah. We got a lot of other stuff to get to. The Man United game we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Everton beating Brighton. Brooks.
They just caught Everton at a bad time.
Oh, my God.
Because they're on fire right now.
Yeah, they are.
Since it's a manager bump.
Then we're going to talk about my Aston Villa blowing the lead again. Oh, God. I don't want to do it. We may skip it. Now we'll probably.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right. Big thank you to Soccer World for being with us as a partner here at We Are Soccer. Again, their 50% off sale starts Friday. This Friday. It goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out soccerworld.net for more details there. Needs to be the 50% off sale is in store only. They got a lot of good things, so get down there, friends. All right. A couple of other games we're going to chat about here. Let's get to Everton. Everton and Brighton. All right, Everton win again. David Moyes has turned this team around. They are up to 16th on 23 points. I think this is officially, they are now going to be beating relegation. I don't see them needing to get the solid 40 points that's usually required to beat relegation. They'll finish in the mid-30s, maybe low 30s. They'll still beat it because, as we talked about, there are some teams in this league who are so much worse than they are.
So they'll pass Tottenham.
They'll pass Tottenham. Maybe. I think Tottenham will cruise up the table a little bit. But they've beaten Tottenham. They've beaten Brighton. Everton have turned a corner. They haven't really made any buys this window. I don't see them making any buys because they're so close to the PSR and everything. But David Moyes is actually looking like a good hire for Everton, and everybody kind of poo-pooed it. I mean,
I didn't poo-poo it. I thought actually that was probably a good spot for him. I remember actually talking to my good old buddy over at Lansing Jags.
Ooh.
Nathan Clark.
Yeah, Nathan.
I said,
good dude, man.
I said, I think that's going to be a good move for him. And we had a big talk about it, and it's like he's, he kind of saw my point. It's like, he knows what he's going into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He knows what he's getting with the club.
He knows what, he knows what they need and who he's going to be working with and how to work with them. And I thought that was actually going to be kind of a decent fit.
Yeah.
No, it's working out for him. It's working out for him. It's working out for the club. They absolutely needed to stay in the Premiership this year because they're moving to that new stadium next year. And that new stadium cost £1 billion. You can't slip into the Championship and start playing in £1 billion stadium. That's a loss of money. You ain't filling it. People ain't coming to watching the Championship, Everton. So they absolutely needed last roll of dice for Everton, and David Moyes is paying off for them. Good for them. Brighton on a little bit of a slide, Brooks.
Yeah,
Oh, boy. Someone's clipped those Brighton wings. Those seagulls not flying as high as they were last year and earlier this season.
They've just drawn a lot lately. That was their first loss in, I think, like 5 or 6 games, honestly.
Did they eat that Alka-Seltzer bread?
The Alka-Seltzer bread. They're on 34 points in ninth spot. 8 wins on the season. 10 draws. 10 draws.
We did beat United this week.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. They got a plus
that's
4.
Not hard to do.
Yeah, they got a plus 4 goal difference.
Get out of here.
But Brighton, we'll see how their season fares out. But
they'll be fine. Do you know Batoma is the highest ever Japanese player to score EPL goal scorer ever?
Is he really?
Yes, I just found that out. Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I predicted he'd leave in the summer. I thought a big club would come in for him. Because no offense when I say this, Brighton aren't exactly a big club, but
we're going to sneak in. We're going to get close to that 6th spot, Craig. Trust me.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. You got a couple of teams ahead of you who are also fighting for that. A Newcastle, a Villa, Fulham are up there as well. All right, let's talk about another game. Let's jump into that. I'm going to talk about Villa versus West Ham right now. 1-1. Villa went up. Jacob Ramsey scored in the 8th minute. And Villa controlled the first half, and in the first 20 minutes, they could have been up 3-0. They should have been up 3-0 if they'd actually put the ball in net properly, if they could have stayed on sides. It should have been 3-0 in 20 minutes, and they should have walked this game. And then they went to pieces in the second half, and oh my God, they were lucky to hang on. Yes, this game was at Villa Park, but oh my God, did they struggle. Villa just seemed to go to pieces in the last couple of weeks here. In the last couple of minutes of every game. Lost to Monaco at home this week. No, sorry, it was in Monaco. In Monaco, in the Champions League. Monaco's not exactly a good team. They've been on a hell of a slide. Villa should have gone in there and won that game. Looked average. Monaco beat them 1-0. Just garbage defending from a corner. Villa come home, tie West Ham. Then they play Celtic at Villa Park this week in the Champions League and absolutely need a win. Hence why I'm wearing my lucky shirt. Let's see if we can get that. Villa need to turn it around. Tyrone Mings goes down with a knee injury. Looked to be a serious knee injury. He posted on, I think it was on Twitter or on Instagram earlier today that not a serious knee injury, just a little bump, so he's all good there. But Villa desperately need to pick it up. Got to beat Celtic at Villa Park. Has to happen. Has to happen. If that doesn't happen, the season's over.
That's the last
we'll
Champions
take a
League
Europa.
match, right?
Yeah, the last league phase game for the Champions League.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
does Man City make it out of the bottom? Because they're in relegation territory.
No, I don't think they do. Well, if they make it through, they'll make it into the group stage. They'll make it in the knockout phases, but they'll have to play. Whereas if you're in the top 8, you get a bye for the first 2 games. So,
I'm hoping they don't, because if they don't, that means chances are Stuttgart.
yeah.
Stuttgart has to play PSG, and all they really need, they could
win.
They could actually win. They haven't been doing bad.
PSG just beat. Who they play? City. They just beat City. They beat City 2-1. Was
Yes.
it? Yep.
And both those teams, they get a draw. I think it's almost mathematically they're going forward pretty much for the most part.
You know what I probably should have done is I probably should have had the Champions League table ready, but I don't.
Nah, you don't need any of that.
Nah.
You care about any of that.
Champions League.
Doesn't mean anything now until City doesn't go. And then I told you there'd be upsets.
Oh yeah, there's definitely upsets. Yeah,
don't believe me. And this is stupid. I'm like, there'll be a few upsets.
There's some upsets. I mean,
no upsets.
yeah, I mean,
And City doesn't advance.
Bayern Munich aren't in the top 8 either. They've fallen off the table a little bit.
I will be surprised if City they play Club Bruges.
Club Bruges. Yeah.
And I have a feeling they'll go forward.
Yeah.
PSG and
I know, they're very
Stuttgart will
Bruges.
play, and I could see a draw there, and somehow both those teams going forward. Bruges dropping out. And I think there's a possibility Celtic could still drop out.
We can only hope Celtic drop out, just only because they play Villa. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. So, game of Champions League, last league phase game, the last of the 8 up this week. We'll see if Villa can do their job and if other teams can do what they need to do to advance. Just get into that 24 and advance through, or if you can be in the top 8 and miss the next 2 games, which is a positive, actually. All right, let's jump into that Man United Fulham game. 1-0 at Craven Cottage.
No need.
No? You don't
Why?
You don't want to talk about
No need to do any of that.
I mean, listen, he's Ruben Amorim is he seems to be, I don't want to say stubborn, right? But the back 3 they're struggling. It's just struggling right now. They can't get the ball out properly. They seem to be hoofing the ball away and using Onana, and then a defender bears down on him, and he's got to hoof it away, and then the ball just comes back. It just doesn't seem, there's not a flow right now, a tactic to the game. It looks like you need a back 4, and if a back 4 was there, you'd have more options to hold the ball and pass it around and be able to move up the field as a team in transition.
I mean,
But he's being a little stubborn and going with the 3, and he's not able to play it out of the back properly.
I mean, some people kind of look at a back 3. If you play a back 3, it doesn't mean you don't really defend well. So,
maybe that. Okay, so that's his system of choice. I get it,
It is.
but maybe not with these players. I don't know if he has the right players in place, and I don't think they're coming into place anytime soon.
No, they're not.
No,
I
because
think he needs to start sending smoke signals for help.
I might.
I don't know. Yeah, Ineos has got to do something. I saw on a podcast. I'm gonna just play the younger kids at this point.
Might as
Exactly.
Because some of these guys,
They have more luck playing with them.
some of these guys aren't worth the paper that
Yeah.
their contracts are written on for the most of them.
Well, you say that, and the club have sent Anthony out on loan to Real Betis. Now the loan is for the rest of the year.
He's gonna light it up there.
He'll actually do pretty well, to be honest.
I don't
in that
think-
league. No, I mean he's gonna play. He's gonna get a lot more minutes. The nice thing is Manchester United are not picking up any of his salary, so Real Betis are picking up the rest of his weekly salary there. There's no option to buy, so if they're not happy with him at the end of the season, then he gets shipped right back to Man United, and he's back on their books.
I mean, this game literally came down to a Coiler clearance off the goal line against Fulham.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, it would have been 1-1 if
it
that
would have been
wasn't-
1-1, and like the opportunities aren't there. There is no attack. It looks just poor. It's
Man United, to clear that up, Man United had one shot on goal
yeah.
the entire game, and that was a looping shot that went over the goalie. I mean, it would have been a shot on goal, but it took a deflection and it went over the goalie's head. One shot on goal from those players. Nate,
That wasn't even a shot.
Nate, we got to be honest.
That was like a miss hit.
But Manchester United have some solid players. Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Mainu, Hoyland,
Do they have solid
Dallo.
players?
I mean,
Do you want to run through the squad and tell me which one of these guys would play in the top 4?
No, there's not a lot of them. Maybe Fernandez. Maybe
Fernandez, and maybe Ugarte is a sub. Maybe Ahmed off the bench as well.
You're not wrong.
You know, maybe some of the back 4 as a. I mean, it's funny because I was I saw a video about Onana versus De Gea, right?
Yeah,
Stats comparison.
Yeah. And De Gea statistically is better than Onana
Yes.
at everything. Like even
passes completed.
Yes.
Wow.
Even
Which is what Onana was brought in
completed,
for.
Wow.
Short passes completed
And long.
They're like neck and neck.
Yeah.
Long passes completed. He's better.
Wow.
It's like
Mm.
I hate to like look at Eric Ten Hag and go, man, you really just set this place on fire. But
Though.
please name me one of his signings
That was good.
of, by the way, $600 million that he spent. That's a lot. That has like panned out to like, oh man, that guy's a world-class player. Woo!
There's not one. There's not one that comes to mind. I mean, the players that stand out are players that were already there.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah,
not one.
not one. Not one. It was either the players who are already there or players that were bought when Ineos came in.
Now, Ruben Amorim's going to have to turn this around, and I just don't see it happening because it's impossible to ship half these players out and bring you new players in because they're not able to buy new players unless they sell because they're that close to PSR.
I don't know if you need to ship out
Sell?
all of them.
no.
I think you need to get rid of another 2 or 3 and bring in another 2 or 3.
Give me 3 players you'd like to see move along really quickly if it could happen.
Let's see. 3 players that would move along Casemiro, because I don't think he does anything for you.
He's like 32 now. He's walking in concrete. Yeah.
Nothing for you. Rashford's pretty much already gone.
Oh yeah, he's.
I mean, they're
that
just
train's
waiting,
left. Yeah.
waiting for that, and that should help.
They need to sell him though for money.
Honestly, I'm
good luck with
kind
that.
of.
Or would you rather just cut him and just get to pay him and be
cut
like,
your losses.
This might sound controversial for some United fans, but I'm kind of over Højlund.
Really?
Yep. Kind of over him. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think you can find a better striker, and I don't think he's doing much for you.
fair?
I'm not going to argue.
I think he's an off a
right.
bench rotation player at best.
Yep. He's young. He's 21.
Yeah.
Very, very young, and he works hard. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not working. And within that system, it's just not working.
Nope.
Now,
Kind of over it. I think Ugarte's good. I think he'll be good. I think he's showing every week that he plays that he looks solid. Fernandez is decent. Mazzari, Delote. I'm okay with him. They didn't have the greatest games this week, but I'm okay with him.
Yep.
Ahmed's good.
he likes to work. He puts in a lot of work and scores goals just working.
Garnacho, hit or miss.
The rumors are he's going to be gone soon.
Some
He didn't
don't
exactly
care.
put himself in a window today.
Some don't care.
Yeah.
I think you got defenders, center backs that are solid.
Yeah.
Not
Would
bad.
love to know if United fans feel the same way about.
But I think you're missing. If I am not scared, if I was a coach and I had to game plan against United, I would not be worried about Højlund. I would not be worried about the forward, and I would put an extremely large center back on him and just manhandle him.
Yep.
Because he's not going to do anything. Just manhandle him and just push him around and nudge him around, and he's not tricky and elusive enough to get around you, and he's not a big body to hold you off. So just throw him around.
Yep.
And I'm not worried about a forward. So now I'm playing against 10 men.
10 men.
Because the one thing that everyone should be afraid of is a scary forward. If you have a good team,
Right.
And they don't have it. So.
Well, you summed it up. I think you're right. Now, the funny thing was, we heard Ruben Amorim come out in the last week or so saying this is the worst United team he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He's quickly had to walk that back.
I don't know. He's not very old.
What?
He's not very old.
40.
So,
He's 40. He turns 40 tomorrow, by the way.
yeah.
But
I mean, how many Man
Happy
United?
birthday, Ruben.
Yeah, happy.
Hey, he has the same birthday as me. My birthday's tomorrow.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
What are you, like 24?
Yeah,
23, 25?
Happy birthday, Ruben.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Brooks.
Yeah.
Why,
And that's
I don't write
embarrassing.
birthdays down, and you know how I depend on birthdays?
Facebook.
Facebook. I depend on Facebook for my own birthday.
And that's sad. I share the same birthday with the Man United manager.
Yes. I mean, well, okay. Let's get back to it. We'll have a little birthday celebration later, I guess. We'll look out for beers. But he turns 40 tomorrow. But he came out this past week and said this is the worst Man United team he has ever seen. He has walked that back slightly with a couple of comments because
Years ago, it was worse.
yeah. Well, no, because I think if you think about it, the executive team at Man United and the PR team probably both came to his office and said, listen, you just criticized your bosses and everybody in the club. And by the way, we're still trying to sell tickets for games. Why are you telling people we are horrible and that they really shouldn't be coming to watch us? So they need to sell tickets for people to come in to earn the money, to earn more money, to pay off the debt, and then to buy players. So he walked it back a little bit. But I said this a couple of weeks ago. I actually like that he's being super honest. One of the first things he did when he got to the club was said, Garnacho and Rashford, not good enough. Didn't train hard enough, not in the squad. Goodbye. I don't care how much you're earning. I don't care what your name is. Goodbye. And then Garnacho picked it up and he got back in the squad. We know what's happened with Rashford. So I like that he's an honest manager and gives an honest interview like that. Whether he can turn it around, time will tell.
And honestly, with Garnacho, it's more like if I could sell you and get a
40 million is the proposed?
yeah, if I can do that and then parlay that into players, it's kind of like the McTominay thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad much that he was not like a bad player. It's just what can you get for him?
Yep.
What does that sale do to you?
Right.
Can you help build off that? And I think you could with a Garnacho sale.
Yeah. No, you're right. Well, we will see how Man United fare for the last 16 games of the season. I think they're going to end up probably, in my opinion, they win a couple of games, they'll end up about 10th.
That's okay because if we win the Europa.
Yeah, that means you get back into Europa. It doesn't
No,
work.
if you win the Europa.
No, not anymore.
What?
No, if you win the Europa, you don't go into the Champions League for the next year. They've changed that.
Boo. But you know what? Then we win the Europa.
Yep.
So, yay.
I mean, hey, it's a trophy. Trust me. Tottenham would love it.
Maybe
All right.
win an FA Cup.
Harry Kane would love it.
Harry Kane would absolutely love it. All right, we got a lot of other stuff to get to. There was two players on the field on the same team that were slapping each other. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
or slapping?
slapping.
Yeah.
Slapping. World record transfer fee in the women's game happened. We got a couple of other things to get to as well. We'll be right back right after this.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Inside on touch, play, see it, yes. All right, well, it's that time, folks. Bundesliga chat time with Nate.
When it's late at night and everyone's turned off their TVs because they're bored, it's Bundesliga chat time with Craig and Brooks.
Oh.
All right, let's do it. All right, I want to hear what's
hold
going on in the Bundesliga.
I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, people are like, really? Why the Bundesliga? Why do I give 2 rats diddly squat? Remember, I gave up swearing.
Yep.
2 rats diddly squat in that league. Let me tell you why, Brooks.
Why?
Let me tell you why, Craig.
Well, you tell me.
You want to guess how many Americans premiered this week?
Ooh.
Give a number. Go.
4.
Wrong.
That featured in the first teams?
That played.
That played?
That featured. Yes, featured in the.
8.
Way too high.
Oh, man.
5 Americans played. 5 Americans for 5 different teams. 6 if you count Timmy Chandler, but I don't. With actually remaining 3 on other teams that did not play.
Okay.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Let's do it.
Wolfsburg, Helston Kiel, one Mr.
Paredes and Tolkien, right?
No, Paredes did not play. Tolkien did make his debut, though. Tolkien made his
Apparently
debut.
the fans don't love him at Holstein Kiel,
who?
from what I've read. Tolkien.
He hasn't been out. He hasn't been playing that much. So it's.
I know.
It's he made his debut kind of at first team Bundesliga match. Came on 79th minute. Played for 11 minutes. Didn't do too bad. The game was 2-2. Very very.
It's a good level for him.
It's a good level for him.
Yes.
Next up, Augsburg, Heidelheim, with a 1 Mr. Center back Banks. 18-year-old Banks getting his start.
All right.
2-1 Augsburg against Heidelheim. Banks had a 98% passer rating. Played the full 90, actually.
Very nice.
So good on him. Glad versus Bochum. Gladbach knocking out Bochum 3-0 with a Scully.
Joseph Scali?
Playing a full 90.
Hey, that deserves an applause, Brooks. Full 90, Joseph Scali. Well done in the win.
If you're keeping track, that is 2 Americans, both playing a full 90 and 2 different teams.
Very nice.
And moving on, St. Pauli versus Union Berlin. St. Pauli actually got a win. Guess who also played a full 90 there?
PFOC?
Nope. Jonathan Sands.
Oh, Jonathan
Jamie.
Sands. He
Jamie.
reappeared.
Jamie Sands.
Sorry,
Jamie
played a
Sands.
full 90.
He reappears after leaving NYCFC, and then
No, he got loaned out to Pauli.
He got loaned out to
that's right.
Pauli, so I got to eat my words on this one a little bit because I thought it was going to be a very poor move for him. I thought it was really, I didn't understand the move.
God, he got loaned to a team that's actually not in relegation either.
No, they were in relegation.
They were. Now they're out of it.
They're out of relegation. I didn't think
They've won the last 2 games.
I didn't think he was going to sniff the field, and actually he has slowly worked his way. He played a full 90, and he's playing, he's playing a defensive mid spot.
I was about to say, where's he playing? Because
that's
he
the
started
part
his
that-
career as a center back, and then he's moved slowly up the field.
He
into
played
the
a full 90 playing a center defensive double pivot 6.
It's a good move and a good spot
I
for him
like
in
it.
a league like
and
that.
he actually did very well. He didn't do anything that would set the world on fire, but he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
St. Pauli winning that game 3-0, knocking out Union Berlin, who did have PFOC play 60 minutes. PFOC definitely needs to move on.
That should be Brooks. That should be. I mean, Jamie Sands. I like that.
I mean, for me,
like
if
that
he
he's getting his career back on
continues
track.
on that trajectory and he plays in this loan, I think Pochettino, he won't hesitate to call him back into the national team.
So this is why I'm eating my words. Because I said the kid's not.
I remember you saying that in our
Yep.
group text.
I said
Like,
it's
I don't think
bad
he's going to
move.
play.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yep.
He has slowly worked his way in, and the fact he's playing full 90 in critical matches because they need points. That's why I said he wasn't going to play. Because I'm like, I don't see them just throwing this kid out there when they're in a relegation dogfight right now.
Yep.
And they are out of it, barely. On the table, there's still, it's still potential that.
And they're 6 points behind Dortmund.
I'm actually shocked that Nate just backtracked and said he was wrong and he's eating his words. Someone needs to get this on video.
Yeah, so
I know, right?
We should get this on video for sure.
Someone
record this.
When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So but they're
Good to see.
the fact he's worked his way in a critical time when they needed wins, and now is playing a full 90 when they needed that 3 points. That 3 points projected him out to 13th place at 20. Without that, they're sitting barely above. You know what I mean? So they would have been sitting 15th, only 3 points out of the relegation zone. So it's a good move. It's great that he's taking it and grabbing hold and moving on. Yep. The 3 players that didn't play, Padres is still injured from Wolfsburg. Gio Reyna didn't touch the field for Dortmund's 2-2 draw that saw them go down to 10 men early.
That probably didn't help his cause that he went down to 10
Campbell.
men.
Was Campbell even in the 18?
Campbell?
No.
The young guy, Campbell.
No.
Yeah, I was just say probably wasn't.
He wasn't in the 18
For
at
Dortmund,
all. He didn't get called in. Yeah. And then Maloney has moved, actually, is a good move. He recently moved from Heidelheim, which is sitting in the relegation zone, to Mainz, who's sitting in 6th.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a good move.
That's actually a fantastic move for him.
Great
That's
move.
probably why he didn't play, is the fact that he just literally moved in January. So chances are it's going to be a minute before they go. But Mainz sitting in 6th.
How common are interleague moves in the Bundesliga?
Huh?
How common is that to move from a bottom team to a top one in the Bundesliga?
Actually, pretty common. Yeah. Pretty common. If you're a team that in January and you're not doing well and you're trying to gain some money before you get relegated and then forced to sell, that's when you offload guys who would be attractive for other teams to buy, and Maloney was one of them.
I will liken it to baseball here in America, where if you're out of the playoff race,
you sell.
You sell your players, trade your players off, to the teams that are in the playoff race. And teams that are in the playoff race want to shore things up. But, yeah, that's how that is. So awesome. All right.
Just rounding it out, Munich Jerks won against Freiburg 2-1. Mainz beating Stuttgart. Jerks. Stuttgart still sitting in 4th, though, after that loss. And honestly, it was an unfortunate loss. Stuttgart had a better game. They missed a lot of chances. Leipzig and Leverkusen ended up drawing 2-2, which still has the table looking Munich, Leverkusen, Frankfurt, and Stuttgart top 4. Leipzig 5th, Mainz in 6th. But how exciting is it that a top European league, and the Bundesliga is a top European league. We're looking like there's going to be about 5 in the Champions League.
Nice.
Potential 5 of the Bundesliga teams moving on. No, wait, 4. Sorry, 4.
4 for sure.
4 for sure. Leipzig's out. So 4 out of the 5 Champions League teams are moving on.
Yeah.
So they are a top league, in Europe, not the top league, not the Premier League, but they're a top 4 league, and you have 8 Americans.
It's awesome.
On 8 separate teams playing, not including Campbell. I kind of left him out of that picture because he has been hit or miss. He's more for Dortmund too. But he's sniffed. He's been there and then out. He's had a first team spot. That's some exciting news.
Absolutely.
I've always said I think how the Americans play, I think it fits more the German style, like when they first go over there than any other league, honestly. And honestly, if James Sands keeps pushing at St. Pauli, I mean, those fans are very loyal to the players that come to the club, just like the Dortmund fans were for Pulisic. Have you guys watched that Pulisic documentary yet?
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh no, I have not. But
it's a good one. It's a good one, and I mean, how loyal the German fans are to their clubs. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, you look at their trajectory, right? Pulisic, Dortmund.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Played there first, then moved on.
Yep.
Tyler Adams.
Leipzig.
RB Leipzig. Played there, now is in the Premier League. It's not a bad stepping stone to move on from.
It's a great stepping stone.
They play young
great
players.
Over young players.
They've
Absolutely.
always been that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about young players, U.S. young players, the U.S. men's national team was playing this past week. As a January camp, that means no European players. They're all players here domestically. They played January 18th at Chase Stadium against Venezuela. That was a 3-1 win. They played a couple of days later, 4 days later, January 22nd, at Inter and Company. That's in Orlando. And they played against Costa Rica, 3-0 win. Our friend of the show, Dwan Jones, getting the start there. So congratulations, Dwan. He played well. Next level training, Dwan Jones. He comes back here during the offseason and trains, so it's great to see him do that and get a start for the U.S. men's national team. Brooks, I know you wanted to put some comments on this U.S. men's national team camp and window and the 2 wins that they had.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's always a mixed bag because the guys get called in. It's some of the MLS clubs release guys, some don't. It's frustrating sometimes because you want to see the better domestic players get in there and show, but obviously there's some young guys that get in there and, they have an opportunity to show the coach what they can do and whatnot. So, I mean, it was interesting. I thought Patrick Agyemang was interesting, the striker for Charlotte FC, played at the University of Rhode Island. He's had 10 goals and 5 assists last year for Charlotte FC, and, he scored 2 good goals, in the play against one against Venezuela and one against Costa Rica. He's a different target. I mean, he's 6'4" with a good body. I think there's still more to work on. I think Dean Smith has a lot to work on with him at Charlotte FC, but it's an interesting one to keep an eye on. Diego Luna.
There's a lot of news about him as he broke his nose but wanted to remain in the game and then ended up setting up an assist, the first assist of the game. So Pochettino said he really likes Diego Luna.
Yeah, he's a different type of
Said he
player.
had big balls.
Yeah,
that was
specifically
funny.
Those are the words he used.
He did, yes. He didn't know the right terminology.
I like it.
I
like it.
And they all laughed about it. It was funny when I was watching the interview because it was after the Costa Rica match. Yeah, I mean, listen, that was took a nasty elbow to the face and came back in, and 3 minutes later he gets the beautiful assist to a one Brian White, who I think honestly the guy's scored double-digit goals the past couple 2 to 3 seasons in MLS. I think he deserves a sniff. Honestly, it's a different type of center forward. No, I mean, listen, Caden Clark wasn't bad. Dewan was good. It was a great outside the football Dewan had to Agyemang in that Costa Rica match. So I think got the assist on there. Stefan actually looked good. I guess they were saying on the during the broadcast was the coaches have actually asked him to play deeper in the box and not come and sweep as much, and it's given him more time on the ball to play.
Okay.
There are a couple shaky plays he had a little bit where he kind of put his players into pressure, but
Right.
he looked good and. It was interesting. Jack McGlynn was an interesting one. He's looking to move from the Philadelphia Union. I believe he's going to be sold here in this winter transfer window. A guy that I was never high on, but he's starting to change my mind a little bit with the way he plays and he sees the game and the spots he finds and he picks up the ball. So it was interesting. I think the guys that probably have a chance, in my opinion, to probably make it in there, I would probably put Dewan in there. I don't know if Diego Luna kind of fits in, like if you had to choose 28, he's probably just outside in that group because we're so deep in the midfield. McGlynn possibly, depending on the day,
Sure.
what happens.
Sure.
And then just to, I think, Caden Clark's an interesting one, Brian White and Agyemang. So there are a few guys that maybe we'll see in, Nations League coming up.
And I think that's the hope of it, right? That's what Pochettino's hoping to see. Get some guys that he can get in the Nations League and play in some of those games and in spots with other players who are coming over back from Europe. So, I have a feeling Pochettino and his staff had a good month with those players and got to see what they wanted to see.
I like it because for an international manager, he could poo-poo. Klinsmann was interviewed a lot about this. He's like, I don't like the January national camp. I think it's stupid, and they have to play because there's 2 TV spots they have to fill in January. That's why they play it. But I kind of like that he's open-minded. He's like, I want to see what we have here. Maybe there's guys that fit in, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. And I think he's very open-minded, which I like.
I think there's only 2 guys on that field that you'll ever see again, possibly.
Sure.
Diego Luna and
Zach Stefan.
I don't want to see Stefan again.
But you have so there's actual goalkeeper competition.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a competition on any other side of that field.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right.
Too many forwards. You're trying.
I think you'll see Walker Zimmerman in there in case
I mean, maybe center back.
Yeah.
Zimmerman, I still consider. I don't consider him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's an established senior member. Yeah.
Established senior.
Yep.
You're gonna have.
Agreed.
Yeah. But almost similar to Tim Ream, even though I don't think he should be back. But as far as new guys, I think Diego Luna made a point. I think you need that type of grittiness sometimes, and if you can show that day in day out, maybe he can work his way in. But even you're right though, the midfield spot at that position specifically is deep, and that's the problem with. And it's a good problem. It's a problem with many of these positions on there. Is it's deep. we're deep in left and right back.
That's good.
You know,
But I like that.
That's good.
Because if one guy goes down, the next person can step
Yeah.
in, which we've never really had in the midfield.
There's always been a drop off,
Yes.
but now it's to the point where it's
Yes.
not a big drop off.
Is Diego Luna going to pull the strings like McKennie or someone in the midfield? No, but like he can compliment guys.
But I'll tell you this, James Sands,
Yes.
by starting,
Yes.
just going back to that,
could be one.
If he's going to regularly be starting in the Bundesliga,
Yep.
he is now making a case
Yep.
for him to play there.
Correct.
You know,
And it's a good chance he could, because if Adams gets hurt, then who steps in? Or who else does he play
Sands,
next
Maloney. I mean,
Yeah.
you got those two guys. You still got, you got several guys in there that can hop in and out. So it'll be interesting. You still got Aronson sniffing around. He's
to? The Nations League.
Jordan Morris is still sniffing around.
Yes.
Not Morris. Sorry, the Middlesbrough guy.
Aiden Morris.
Aiden Morris.
Morris.
Sorry, I
Yes.
said
And he's
sorry.
been well. He's been starting.
Yeah,
for
he's been
Middlesbrough.
playing well.
Player of the match a couple of games as well. Yeah, he's been playing very well for Middlesbrough.
The United Nations in March. I think that's the next international window, right?
Yep, I believe
That is going to be interesting to see what players get released and who comes in, because there's going to be an injury somewhere, and I would like to see definitely, to see Leonard Mahoney come in. I would love to see him come in and play, because I think he deserves time. James Sands for sure, because some clubs aren't going to release. Juventus may not release a McKennie, or AC Milan may not release a Pulisic to play or something.
Sure.
It's going to happen. But he's got interesting players he can choose.
It just adds more depth, as you said, right?
Yes.
That's a great thing. All right, we got a couple of other things to get to, but I wanted to let everybody know that the We Are Soccer youth teams won again. Oh, my God, I tell you what.
It's amazing what these kids can overcome in spite of their coach.
Wait, what? Yeah, I'm the coach.
What?
Yeah, what? I tried to play 4-4-2, but they made me add
Again?
an extra player, take players off the field. It was bizarre. Both teams won yesterday and today.
How is it taking travel teams and beating up against rec teams?
Moving on to the next. Topic on the show. Yes, we got a lot to get to.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I feel like such a jerk out of that comment.
All right, so full disclosure, we were playing, the boys team were playing yesterday, and we're playing against boys our own age, and we heard a couple of the parents off to the side going, wait a minute. We've heard that the rumors are that this is actually a Jags team, and what the hell are they doing playing in this league? And the only thing I said was, we like indoor soccer, and we wanted to play indoor soccer, and their coach is holding them back, which is me. So here we are. They should have beaten us, but they didn't. We won by a lot. Anyway, moving on. We got a lot to get to. What two players in what league were playing slap and tickle in the middle of a field, and why the hell were they doing that? Who has moved for a record fee in the women's game? And what big-time player has gone to the MLS that I think was a big mistake, and I think he should have come to Aston Villa? We're going to talk about that in 1 minute.
I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older, and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep, sorry, Doc. All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What was wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord. All right, we got a couple of other news and notes to finish off with, and then a fun little event that happened. Okay, so Kyle Walker's officially joined AC Milan. I think that's a very good move. 1 for the club of Manchester City, and 2 for Kyle Walker. It's time for him to get out of Manchester. He's had a lot of personal issues. We kind of know a little bit about that with him, the infidelities and fathering other children out of wedlock, all that good stuff. get him into Italy, get him into a more of a structure, get him into a new club. He wanted to take his family and move, so they're off into AC Milan. So he is at AC Milan officially now. Julian Nagelsmann, the German national team head coach, has renewed his contract. He looks like he'll be there for a couple of more years. I think that's a good thing, a really good thing for him and for the national team, the country.
The bagel baker.
You call him the Bagelsman, the bagel baker.
Yeah.
Julian Bagelsman is how you like to refer to him.
That's because we mispronounced his name one time. So someone said Bagelsman. I think it was.
It was Craig.
It was,
Yeah,
me
it was
who
you.
did that?
It was you. Yes,
Bagelsman.
it was.
And now
And Nate and I laughed, and we were like, "We're calling him Bagelsman."
Bagelsman from here on out.
Yes.
Understood. All right. You're welcome, Julian.
It was an autocorrect error on the text message.
Oh, it was.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it came out Bagels.
I apologize, Julian.
And then you're like, who's Bagels, man? I was like,
Yeah, I did.
and I was like,
Baker.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Kylian Mbappe has netted a hat trick. I tell you what, he's on fire now. He's all of a sudden found it within the Real Madrid team. He's netted his first hat trick. It took him 19 games, I believe it was. Here is, and if you're wondering who beat him, here is who has beaten Kylian Mbappe with hat tricks. So, Ruud van Nistelrooy scored his first hat trick in La Liga in 2 games. It took him 2 games to get a hat trick. Other Real Madrid players who scored their first hat trick in a few games include Gareth Bale, who took 9 games to score a hat trick. Emmanuel Adebayor took 14. There's Kylian Mbappe with 19. The original OG Brazilian Ronaldo took 19. And if you're wondering, where's Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo? They both scored 8 hat tricks in a single La Liga season, which is the most in La Liga history. Messi scored his hat tricks in 2011, 2012, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, third fastest hat trick in La Liga. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. He's really found his way. So congratulations to Mbappe. Whatever, I don't care. All right, Napoli have finally handed Juventus their first loss of the season. Juventus find themselves in like 9th. How do you find yourself in 9th with no losses, or now only 1 loss?
Hey, you draw a lot.
They draw a lot. They drew a ton of games, just like Brighton, right?
Anything can happen in Napoli.
Well, Napoli's going nutty, man.
Yeah.
They got some good players coming in. They're looking at Garnacho and a couple of others as well. All right, Naomi Girma, who we have rated very highly. I know a lot of the women's coaches around the area rate her very highly as well. She's officially moved from the San Diego Wave to Chelsea in England for a world record transfer fee of $1.1 million. That is a world record in the women's game. $1.1 million. U.S. women's national team player Naomi Girma. She has signed a deal with Chelsea through 2029.
Wow.
Yeah, big contract there for her. All right. What player has joined Charlotte FC on a year-long loan, who I think should have come to Aston Villa because I still rate him? Wilfried Zaha. Zaha coming from the Turkish League over to MLS and joining Dean Smith at Charlotte FC. You should have come back to the Premiership. The Villa would have taken you. We could have loved to have had you. Leon Bailey needs to sit on the bench because he ain't doing nothing. Nothing. We would have taken you, Mr. Zaha. I don't know why he's come.
So Leon Bailey might be like in the Jamaican national team as Mason Greenwood's now.
Mason Greenwood is
switched over.
officially pledged his allegiance to
Jamaica
instead of England.
Steve McLaren.
That's the Steve McLaren factor. You're right.
That's only because, like,
I mean, he wouldn't get it. He wouldn't get
wouldn't
his
touch
sniff.
him, basically, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Nailed it. He's not getting into the England team with the players that we have. So
Makes
in order to play,
CONCACAF interesting, though.
it does. It
not
does.
just the players.
Right.
I don't think that national team wants a controversy at all.
That's
No,
true.
they don't need
You
any
know,
more.
Steve McLaren, though, the Wally with the Brawley, as they call him in England. Big, long story on that one. I'll tell you later. He has convinced a couple of players to come over to Jamaica, so good for him.
Yeah.
All right, so I still think Zaha should have come to.
On the beach in
Sorry.
Charlotte, you know,
Sorry
you want to
about
live
that.
on the ocean.
Local news here. Chicago Stars FC signs Troy, Michigan standout women's player Michaela Johnson. That is a big move for a young lady who apparently has passed up playing at college. Florida State was it? Who she committed to? She's taken that back. She's now going to play in the NWSL for the Chicago Stars. Signed a 3-year deal. This is a big deal for this young lady. So congratulations. 17 years old, I believe.
Yes. 3-year contract,
cool.
I believe.
3-year contract. Very nice. All right. So last. Do I have any other news?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, hold on. What's your news?
Did you do the USO one?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Where did you? I wrote it down. I don't know where it went.
Say USO.
Yeah. He's got some.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
USL.
Oh, I thought you said O or L.
L. L as in Larry.
I heard O.
Okay, you ready?
Like-
All right, Louisville City in the USL Championship has sold Elijah Winder to the LA Galaxy for a record fee of $400,000. That is a record for a player in the USL Championship going to the MLS club.
And his brother Joshua last year was sold to Benfica.
Yes, and plays.
So
in
Louisville City
Benfica's
doing a
B
good
team.
job moving players to bigger clubs and getting money.
That's actually very cool to see. Other quick rumors that are doing whip around here. Marcus Rashford is reportedly on his way to Borussia Dortmund or Barcelona. We will see. Man United just want to get him out the door and get something for him.
Would he even help Dortmund? I don't know if he would help him.
Marcus
He might get
Rashford
relegated.
is a player.
Yeah. You guys should pick him up. You should sell him and hype him up. Yeah.
He lives.
For the game.
He's living.
Yeah. Garnacho on his way to Napoli or Chelsea. That's another rumor that's making the rounds. By the way, Santos are close to completing the deal for Neymar's return, reports El Quip. And Alexander Zinchenko is also on his way to Borussia Dortmund from Arsenal, is the rumor we're hearing.
I like that move.
Fabrizio. I don't know if that comes off. I don't know. I do not rate Zinchenko at all. I
like
think he's
that
been the
one.
weak link at Arsenal for a while now.
You know who Dortmund should think about getting instead of players?
A coach?
A coach. That might be a good idea. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Might want one of those.
That could help. It could help out the situation. All right, so what two players were playing slap and tickle in the middle of a game? Well, it happens in the Turkish top division. A player in the Turkish top division was sent off for slapping his own teammate this weekend. All right, you ready for me?
Was he at Besiktas?
Kayserispors. Kayserispors. Stefan Bahakuin was shown a red card just 23 minutes into his side's clash against fellow Super League side Sivasspor for slapping teammate Miguel Cardoso. So apparently what happened is Cardoso gave a free kick away, and Bahakuin was pretty pissed off about the situation. He went up and they confronted each other. They put their hands on each other, and then all of a sudden Bahakuin slapped Cardoso. The referee goes, "You can't do that. You're not allowed to touch people's faces," and gave him a red card, even though they're on the same team. Now, if you think this is the first time this has ever happened, you're wrong. It has happened before. It reminds me of the time that Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer were both fighting each other when they played for Newcastle, and the game was against Aston Villa. It was phenomenal. The Villa players were breaking the two Newcastle players up. They were both sent off in that game. I think actually ended in a draw because Villa couldn't break down 9 men of Newcastle at the time, back in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they must have been upset because that team is in relegation in the Turkish league right now. I just looked up.
Maybe that's why the guy was so pissed off.
Yes.
I don't know. All right, well, that'll do it. I think that's going to wrap us up for the week. I appreciate everybody joining us and everybody chiming in. Very much appreciate you guys. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to soccerworld.net. Don't forget about their big 50% off sale that happens this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Big thank you to Next Level Training, and congratulations for Dwan Jones having another U.S. men's national team cap. Next Level Training products, Dwan Jones. Big thank you to the Michigan Jags. Yep, the Jags got a lot more wins this week, and they also put on a huge showcase girls tournament this weekend at Toka Wixom. There was like 100 college coaches, a phenomenal display of coaches and players and from the club. So well done to the Michigan Jags for that. Big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. If you have hurt your knee or hurt anything recently and need to get back on the field, visit the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. And a big thank you to the Fab Football Academy, fabfootballacademy.co.uk. All right. That's going to wrap us up. We will see you next week. From us here at We Are Soccer, cheers.
Cheers.